Will students be joining us because the strength is very low? Yeah, we need to start structure of mitochondrion. Yeah, we studied about that, sausage shaped and all. So we'll study about the membranes. Okay. There are two membranes. The outer membrane and the inner membrane. So you have two membranes are there. Both the membranes have different lipid structure. They will be having different lipid structure, which means like they are like kind of like very different. Okay. So whereas the outer membrane is uninterrupted. The inner membrane has numerous foldings called cristae. So you know that thing. So you have this uninterruptedly, it is having only one layer. Whereas here you will see like this numerous finger-like projections. Like this, you will see this crista will be there. So that is what you are seeing here. Okay. Quickly take this down. Are you guys done? Okay. The inner membrane has numerous proteins particles that are connected with energy production. Okay. They contain enzymes that are involved in electron transport chain. Okay, so please, children, let me just take this last slide and then explain this concept first. You please listen. Yes, this is for the inner membrane. So you need to know about the inner membrane of this thing. So we are talking about inner membrane. So the membrane is not over. So this is the first slide. The membranes, we are talking about the membranes. This is for the inner membrane. Okay. So what you need to know is that you have this outer membrane is there, and then you have this inner membrane which is there. Okay. In this inner membrane, you will see lots of proteins which are there. Different kinds of proteins which are there. Okay, so like this, you will have like different kinds of proteins which are there. So this the outer membrane will allow free movement of substances without any difficulty. Okay, so which means the movement of substances between the cytoplasm, and this is the intermembrane space. And this is the matrix. So you are able to understand. So this is the mitochondria. So let us say that this is the mitochondria. This is the inner matrix. Okay. So and then like let us say that this is the outer membrane. Okay. Outside whatever is there is the cytoplasm. Okay. So here you are able to see that this movement is like uninterrupted. Anything can move and then like anything can go inside, anything can come outside. There is no much difficulty in that movement. Whereas this membrane is selectively permeable. Okay, and it is having these proteins. So these are the proteins. What are these proteins? These proteins are involved in what we call it as electron transport chain. This electron transport chain will result in ATP production. So for all these things, you need proteins. Where are those proteins found? Those proteins are found in the wall of the, like the inner membrane. So this is the inner membrane. In the inner membrane layer, you are able to see these proteins which are connected with what we call it as electron transport chain and ATP production. It is basically, you have to understand that this process of electron transport chain, okay, will give rise to what we call it as ATP. Okay, so the required things which are required for whatever is required for your this process, what process your ATP production. is present in this particular one. Okay. One more thing that you should understand is that if there is a cell, what is happening? This is the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, only glucose is there. This glucose is converted into pyruvate. You might have studied in 10th standard. This is happening because of a process which is called as glycolysis. Once this, after this glycolysis, this pyruvate is there. This pyruvate is taken inside mitochondria. So where will this happen? This pyruvate will be coming from here. From here, it will try to move here. And from pyruvate will again move from here to here. This pyruvate will be broken down into a cycle which is called as Krebs cycle. This Krebs cycle, where will it happen? It will happen in the matrix, mitochondrial matrix. So when this Krebs cycle is happening, it will produce carbon dioxide, it will produce water. Along with that thing, some other structures are produced, which will be like kind of moving through this proteins and produce what we call it as ATP. Okay, so this Krebs cycle followed by electron transport chain will result in the production of ATP. So this electron transport chain, where will it happen? It will happen inside the in the inner membrane of the mitochondrial matrix. Are we able to understand? So this is what I am trying to explain here in this particular point. You are able to see here what is this point is trying to tell. The inner membrane has numerous protein particles that are connected with energy production. They contain enzymes that are involved in electron transport chain. Okay, what is Krebs cycle? Krebs cycle and all, you'll study it as a separate chapter. In the respiration chapter, you will try to study about Krebs cycle and all. Okay, so please, as of now, you please understand that it is like kind of the same. The perimitochondrial space and intermembrane space is the same. Okay, both are the same. The perimitochondrial space, this space is also called as perimitochondrial space. Intermembrane space is just a colloquial term between two membranes. Okay, are you guys understanding? Yes, mitochondria will have my ribosomes and all. I'm going to explain about it. These particles are called as elementary particles. Okay. The protein particles mentioned here are called as elementary particles. So moving on further, the chambers outer chamber called as perimitochondrial space. It contains enzymes such as adenylate kinase and diphosphokinase. The second chamber is called as the inner chamber, called as matrix. Okay, filled with enzymes of Krebs cycle. It contains DNA and ribosomes. DNA is circular, ribosome is 70S like prokaryotes. Okay, so what you need to understand here is you need to understand here that the ribosomes are present here. DNA is also present here in the matrix. So the inner chamber is called as matrix. It is filled with enzymes that is required for Krebs cycle. Apart from that, it is also having DNA, which means mitochondria is a semi-autonomous body, which means it will have its own nucleus. I mean, like it will have its own DNA and it will have its own protein producing machinery, which is ribosome. Okay, so you need to understand that this DNA and ribosomes are present in this mitochondria. And the DNA is usually circular double-stranded DNA, like how you see in prokaryotes. In the same way, the ribosome is also 70S, like what you see in prokaryotes. The eukaryotic ribosome is 80S. But the but the ribosomes which are present inside the mitochondria is 70S only. Are you guys able to understand? If you are having mitochondria in your body, it will be your DNA only. What I am trying to tell is mitochondria will be having DNA got from one of the parents, usually the mother. Because when the sperm cell and egg cell fuse, the mitochondria in mother's body will come into the zygote. From the sperm cell, mitochondria will not go. Okay, so ultimately, the mother's mitochondria only will be there in the egg cell. So naturally, what will happen is like your mother's mitochondria will be got in your body, and in all your cells, your mother's mitochondria only will be there. Mitochondrial genome will be there. Yes, chambers and compartment means the same. Yes, in sperm cells, middle mitochondria is there, but when the fusion happens, only the nucleus part is like going inside the fused thing. When your sperm cell and egg cell is fusing, let us say that this is the sperm cell, this is having a head, this will have a body mid piece, and then like you have a tail. Only this part will enter. This part is left out. Okay, so basically your what do you mean by DNA is single in mitochondria? But DNA is double stranded. DS double stranded means double stranded. I mean like it will be a single piece of DNA which is double stranded. No, you have chloroplast also. We'll come to that thing. Other organisms or other organelles will also have it. Usually chloroplast and mitochondria have their own DNA. We'll study about it. The word peri indicates outer. The word peri means perimeter and all is coming from that word. We are getting our father's characters because of our main DNA. We are now, when we are talking about mitochondrial DNA comes only from mother. You have a main DNA which is there. That is how you get your father's characters. Okay, so elementary particles or what we call it as oxysomes. The stopped particles in the inner membrane. They are numerous, 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 5 per mitochondria. Yeah, right, Rangapriya. What you are saying is correct. Oxysomes, this is the spelling which is given in my textbook. Some other places they can use the spelling OXY also. Yeah, they are numerous. This is number of particles. It is almost 10 power 4 to 10 power 5 particles will be there. Okay. These particles are also called as F0, F1, ATPase. They are connected with ATP production. Okay, so you have this thing. It is called as F0, F1, F0, F with the subscript 0, F with the subscript 1. These elementary particles are also called as what? F0, F1 ATPase. You see here, okay, you have this crista, you are able to see that these things are attached. This is what we call it as the F0, F1 particle. Okay, what is this F0, F1 particle? These are the ones which we call them as ATPase. What is the meaning of ATPase? It is an enzyme which is useful for producing ATP. You see this diagram, you will be able to understand. This is the matrix. Here you are having a component which is attached with the membrane. That part is called as F0. This head like structure which you are able to see here is the F1 particle. So we call them as F0, F1 ATPase. Why we call them as F0, F1 ATPase? This is a combination of F0 and F1. These put together, this entire yellow structure is called as what? Elementary particle or oxysomes. Okay. So you have the base, you have a pedicel, and you have the head. The base is called as F0 and the head is called as F1. I mean like this entire head and pedicel together, we call it as the F1. So since this F0, F1 is present and it is producing ATP, we call this as F0, F1 ATPase. F0, F1 ATP producing enzyme. So we call it as ATPase. Okay. Are you guys able to understand? Since it is having F0 particle, it is having F1 particle, and along with that thing, it is producing enzymes. It is called as F0, F1 ATPase. This F0, F1 ATPase is only oxysome, man. They are the stock particles. The elementary particles are also called as oxysomes. They are stocked particles in the inner membrane. They are numerous. These particles are also called as F0, F1 ATPase. The word ATP stands for ATP. Whenever I am suffixing something with ase, this indicates it is an enzyme. Okay, you have lipase. You would have studied lipase. What is the meaning of ase here? It indicates that it is a name for enzyme. Okay, you talk about amylase. Amylase, what is this ase is indicating? This ase is indicating that it is an enzyme. You have protease. Yes, exactly. Protease is also there. What is this ase is indicating? That it is indicating that it is an enzyme. Whenever I am suffixing it with ase, it indicates that it is an enzyme. Okay, please understand that there are like lots of components which are there involved in the Krebs cycle. Okay, you will understand Krebs cycle when we are teaching Krebs cycle. So you don't confuse yourself with too much information now. Anyways, you are going to study about all these particles and electron transport chain, how it happens and all. You will study it in the chapter respiration. So now you just don't take it, carry too much. You just understand that there are some particles which are there inside the mitochondrial membrane. Yes, that is what we have been studying. These particles are present only in the inner membrane. That is what I explained here in the diagram. You see the diagram. Have I put any proteins here in the outer membrane? No, I have put only proteins here. These are the proteins, that green color, blue color, and then like red color. Okay, so children, there is nothing deleted in NEET portion. If you are preparing for NEET, you have to study it all. Okay, so please don't ask about deleted portions, because only CBSE has come up with the deleted portion. It is not the NTA which has come up with the deleted portion. So there is going to be no deleted portions for your NEET exam. So which means you have to study it all. So if you are like looking only for CBSE, then you can refer your CBSE website. Okay, coming to the final thing, functions of mitochondria. Takes place in contains all enzymes required for they help in the formation of yolk during ovum development. They help in motility of sperms. They form the middle piece. elongation of fatty acids. Okay, so these are the functions of mitochondria. They take place in the energy production. We have studied about it. Apart from that, you should also know that it helps in the formation of yolk whenever your ovum is developing. The sperms will become motile only because of mitochondria. Okay, the sperms are moving only because of the presence of mitochondria. The mitochondria will form the middle piece in a sperm. And whenever fatty acids are to be elongated, they will be elongated by the help of mitochondria. Basically, you please understand that there is something called as yolk. Okay, yolk formation during that ovum development will require mitochondria. In your ovum, there is this part which is called as yolk. This yolk development will be requiring mitochondria. And what is the meaning of sperms? I mean, like you have a sperm cell will have three parts. The central part here, this is called as a middle piece. This middle piece is made up of mitochondria. Okay, with this thing we are done. The last part of mitochondria is a semi-autonomous organelle. It produces its own protein and can function semi-autonomously. What is the meaning of semi-autonomously? Half autonomous. It will not depend completely on the nucleus. Okay, it can survive on its own for a while. So the mitochondrial DNA codes for at least 30 proteins. The mitochondrial DNA can replicate themselves. Okay, so these are all making Mitochondria, a semi-autonomous organ. Are you guys done? Okay, so with this thing, mitochondria is over. So now we'll move on to the next topic, plastids. They are found only in plant cells. Okay, so they are found only in plant cells. You have this plastids are there. Uh, it is a double membrane structure that develop from protoplastids. Okay, there are three types of plastids. You have plastids which are divided into chloroplast, chromoplast, and then you have your leucoplast. You have three different types of plastids. Okay, plant cell alone will have plastids. You can see that they are also double membrane structure. So like mitochondria, you'll have two membranes. And there are three types of plastids. One is what we call it as chloroplast. The second one is what we call it as chromoplast. And the third one is what we call it as leucoplast. Okay, someone is asking me, sir, I saw a word called de novo in the textbook. What is that? The word de novo means from the beginning. Okay, the word meaning for de novo is from the beginning. I think it will be coming under some synthesis part, synthesis of some organelle. Right from the beginning, we can use the word de novo. Okay, so now let us move on to the next part. We'll try to differentiate between what is chloroplast. Okay, and then we'll try to study what is chromoplast. And we'll also try to study what is leucoplast. If possible, try to make like a table so that you will distinguish them properly. Okay, so you need to know that this will carry out photosynthesis. Which one? Chloroplast is involved in photosynthesis. We all know that. Whereas chromoplast is not involved in photosynthesis. This leucoplast is also not involved in photosynthesis. Okay. So what about the pigments contains pigment chlorophyll? What about this one? This will be containing pigment. What pigment? You have carotenoid, keratin, and xanthophyll. Okay, so these are all red, yellow, orange colors. It is colorless and contains no pigment. What is the role? They trap sunlight and produces don't write produces and helps in photosynthesis. What will chromoplast will do? They provide colors to plant. Fruits, vegetables, or leaves, or flowers. What will these things will do? They will store substances. Okay. Example, there is something called as amyloplast. There is something called as the alluroplast. And then you have Elioplast. The amyloplast will store starch. The aleuroplast will store proteins. And elioplast will store fats. So all these things are stored by them. Okay. Yeah, basically keratin and xanthophylls are type of carotenoids. They contains pigment, carotenoids, put a hyphen here, keratin and xanthophylls. Okay, so this is what is the case. Are you guys done? You can also study about plastid structure. Chromoplast is a plastid that contains carotenoid. Carotenoid is a pigment which is present in a plastid that is called as chromoplast. Similarly, you please understand that chlorophyll is a pigment that is present in a plastid that is called as chloroplast. Okay, chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast are all types of plastids. This plastid that is like green in color and it will be containing chlorophyll. Chromoplast is something which is red or yellow or orange in color. They will contain pigments which are called as carotenoids. Leucoplast is a colorless plastid. It will contain no pigment. Are we clear? Okay, so now we'll see plastid has two membranes. They contain DNA and ribosomes. They can multiply on their own. Own by binary fission. Okay, so these are all properties of plastids. Okay, so whenever a particular cell needs plastid, it will try to divide and then like it will try to produce more number of plastids whenever required. you see the tomatoes red color, okay, chilies red color, and all is coming from your chromoplast pigments. It is all combination of different colors basically. Okay, color of fruits, flowers, and all is all like dependent on combination of multiple pigments. Yes, they will also have RNA. Any place where DNA is the genetic material, RNA comes automatically. Okay, it is combination of different colors. So now with this thing we'll complete today's class. We'll start with slide 1. Tomorrow we can continue with chloroplast alone. Okay, first slide, second slide, third slide, fourth slide, fifth slide, sixth slide, seventh slide, eighth slide, ninth slide. For better scores, read CBSE textbook. For better scores, read my notes. If at all you have I think most of the questions last week were from notes only. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ajitesh, how many classes do you attend, man? I see you in many batches. 11, 10, 9. 2.